This is Chateau Teyssier 2005 Montagne-St. Emilion, and not to be confused with the Chateau by the same name. That's a St. Emilion Grand Cru. This wine is really quite a good wine on its own right. The Montagne-St. Emilion, of course, outskirts of St. Emilion in the hills. You get some elevation to the vineyards, some hillside exposure. Have about 25 acres. Of course, the estate dates back over 100 years or more, like many of these Bordeaux estates. But in the 90s and the early 2000s, they did a lot of renovation on the property. They brought it really up to modern standards and brought in famous consultant Michel Rolland to help them out. And they're turning out some really, really good wines. Aging in oak barrels, about between 10 and 14 months, depending on the grapes. You got 86% Merlot, 12% Cabernet Sauvignon, and then just 2% Cabernet Franc. And best of all, 05 vintage. You're just not finding these 05 Bordeaux around anymore. They're all snapped up in people's cellars or drunk. There's a really pretty nose on this. I get a lot of cassis. I get a lot of like cranberry. I get a really nice sort of tobacco-y, cedary note. That's pretty. Let's try it. This one is nice, and it shows some really nice development. I get a lot of that nice black currant, red currant fruit right up front, and but then I start getting some of these secondary flavors, some of these earthy notes, these undertones, a little bit of like a little bit of pencil lead coming in there, along with the like forest floor notes, and more of that tobacco. And the middle palate really kind of opens up. It's very soft, very sort of lush. And clearly, you can drink this now. I would expect that it would probably do well in a cellar for another maybe 3-4 years to really peak. But right now, it's drinking beautifully. And it's a really good value. Enjoy.